How you guys doing? This is the Mouth of the South, John Schiavone, and the Beast of the East, Jonathan Periente from Downtown Sports, where sports come home. Are you registered to vote at your current address? It's a really important question. You know, more than 60% of eligible voters have never been asked to register. Headcount.org is working to change that.
At headcount.org, you can also check your registration status. Millions of people get purged from the voter rolls every year. Everyone should check their registration status every year. The deadline to register to vote in some states is as early as October 4th, so you want to check before then.
You could also request an absentee ballot, get info on early voting, and find your polling place, or see who's even on your ballot.
Headcount is a nonpartisan, nonprofit that tours with musicians to help concert attendees register to vote. But you don't need to leave your house to register or get voting info. Just visit headcount.org.
Register to vote today at www.headcount.org. Once again, www.headcount.org. Let your voice be heard. Don't let yourself be voiceless. Register to vote. What's up, everybody? It's the Mouth of the South, John Schiavone, right here with a Downtown Sports Rant coming to you live right here in Quarantina Shore in New York City. And I really just was examining the news today, right, guys? And I was looking up political news and coronavirus news and, trying to find out what's been going on with this whole quarantine situation, and then something comes across my news feed that I looked at and I said, no way, this can't be effing true. I see it on TMZ. I'm like, okay, TMZ's reporting something. All right. Then I see it on Forbes. Then I see it on MLB Trade Rumors. Then I see it on Fox Business, and I'm gonna read the Fox Business version of this headline, because I think it's the best one that that actually encompass what is going on here. Jennifer Lopez and Alex Rodriguez could buy Mets at discount due to coronavirus. Reports are saying MLB teams are losing millions in revenue in the pandemic, and the Wilpons don't like to lose money, so they are really looking to sell the team. They were looking to sell the team before all this was going on. Now they want to dump the team like a bad habit, because they're going to be dropping money out of their pockets to pay players' salaries when they're not going to be making anything. So this would be the time that the Wilpons would drop out. So basically, the celebrity couple is putting together an ownership group, right? They don't got enough money to buy the Mets outright themselves. They're going to put together an ownership group that will aim to pay up front for the franchise. And let's see, the people they got are Jorge Mas, said to be a key member. That's according to the New York Post. Basically, the Wilpons are motivated sellers at the moment. They are very, very, very much interested in selling the Mets. But is this possible? Is this something that could take place? So a representative for Alex Rodriguez didn't return a request for comment. JP Morgan Chase is denying comment. According to reports, JP Morgan Chase could be a part of this ownership group. Mets officials referred to an earlier statement from owner Jeff Wilpon, who said in February the team would have no further comment on the sale process. So basically, the Wilpons are going to keep this hush-hush. They're going to keep this all nicey nice and underneath everything. So let's really get into what's going on with this situation. Right now, the Mets are evaluated to be worth at about $1.5 billion. Now, Cohen was going to buy the Mets for something like $3 billion before, but then the Wilpons wanted to retain control over the team for 5 years, and then were arguing with Cohen over Jeff Wilpon's salary to remain on, and then Cohen said, "You know what? I'm done with this," and the sale fell through. Isn't it funny? And in the way the Wilpons deserve this, they're now going to get about $1.8 billion less for the team right now due to the coronavirus pretty much guaranteeing no revenue for Major League Baseball. This is what's going on. The Mets went from being worth $3.2 billion to an estimated $1.5 billion. So basically, what you're going to get is a deal where Alex Rodriguez and J-Lo are kind of like trying to do what Derek Jeter did with the Marlins. Because since they lack the financial resources required to own a majority stake, they're seeking a smaller ownership share as a part of their group. I believe A-Rod's probably going to be looking to go about 30 or 40 million in to get the Mets, along with the billionaire business partners behind them. And then A-Rod and J-Lo would be smaller hand owners, but they'd be the hands-on owners running the franchise while the other people are the money behind it. A lot of people are predicting that this is going to fall straight into Alex Rodriguez's lap because as shrewd a business people as the Wilpons are in terms of making money, so is Alex Rodriguez. Alex Rodriguez was probably one of the smartest business people in baseball, fired Scott Boras in order to get a 10-year contract out of the Yankees worth above $300 million. So this is a perfect financial opportunity for those two to own the team. Now, what does this mean? Smaller ownership stake. Here's what this means. This is going to have to be profitable for the billionaires that are going to buy into this. Now, that they understand this. The Wilpons were cheap as an organization, as a team, as owners. They've been cheap. They are cheap. Alex Rodriguez, I think, would be a little more open with the pocketbook than the Wilpons were. And let me explain why. Because this is a matter of pride for A-Rod. Steroids will always be a part of the Alex Rodriguez story as a player. So Alex Rodriguez is a guy who cares about having immortality, right? He wanted to be known as the best. He still does. He craves attention. He wants people to like him. He wants people to love him. And I think I'm not saying you're going to see the Mets have a Yankee-style payroll, but take 50 mil off that, and that might be where you see the Mets land. You know, the Wilpons are worried about Bernie Madoff money, and the difference is the Mets actually have, the Wilpons have a lot of money. These billionaires that A-Rod is going to be bringing along with J.P. Morgan Chase, and nobody's really responding for comment because these are source things, leak things, reporters finding things out, but no one's going to officially comment on anything because the Wilpons really made that a condition, saying that they're no longer going to comment on the sale of the team. So everything we hear right now is hearsay and rumor. So the one thing I want to caution Mets fans about is don't believe it until it's put on paper and the Wilpons are officially gone. They didn't want to sell the team for 3.2. Everybody says the Wilpons really want to sell because they're motivated because they're going to lose a lot of money this year. But they didn't sell the team for $3.2 billion. Thought that wasn't enough. Needed to have control for 5 years. I'm not sure Alex Rodriguez or his billionaire business group that's buying this team wants to deal with any of that. I don't think that's going to fly this time. So one of two things is happening. Either the Wilpons are going to literally lose $1.7 billion willingly, or this is a bunch of rumors and it's not actually going to happen. What do I think of all this news? It's very simple. Show me the signed document that transfers ownership from Wilpon and his group to A-Rod and J-Lo and their group. Then I'll believe it. That's first. Second off, this might not be that prayers answered sort of moment like you had with Steve Cohen and Steve Cohen's beautiful money, as Evan Roberts used to put it. But if A-Rod and J-Lo own your team, they want to be owners that are sitting at World Series championship games with their team in the owner's box watching their team win World Series. I think Alex Rodriguez will spend the proper amount of money to put a winning product on the field. I think he has an idea of how to put a winning product on the field. I think he has more of an idea than the Wilpons do. I think A-Rod could be the voice of reason that this Mets organization needs. But what really matters, and this is going to be reported over the next couple of days because you're hearing a lot of rumbling about it, will Fred Wilpon actually sell the Mets? Until I see it, I don't believe it. Thanks a lot for listening, guys. This is Mouth with a Downtown Sports Rant. Johnny should be coming out with something tonight, and we're going to be putting up another full episode, so you guys are going to want to stay tuned for that. Until then, I'm out.